Okay. नमस्कार आप सबको और शारदा टीम की तरफ से मेरा प्रणाम, हार्दिक प्रणाम। आज बहुत एक खास उत्सव है हमारे लिए। आज हमारी कोर शारदा टीम की तरफ से और एक पुस्तक पंचस्तवी, श्री पंचस्तवी, जिसका जो ट्रांसलेशन है वो हमारे आदरणीय सदस्य मेंबर ऑफ कोर शारदा टीम जी AK राजदान जी जिन्होंने किया है। AK राजदान जी का ये सेकंड कंट्रीब्यूशन है। इससे पहले AK राजदान जी का जो महिमना पार स्तुति, उसके ऊपर विच वाज बेस्ड ऑन द ओरिजिनल मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट, उसका बुक हमने पब्लिश किया। एंड देन पोस्ट दैट दिस इज द सेकंड, आई वुड से, जो दूसरी पुस्तक है पंचस्तवी। एंड बिफोर, आई थिंक आई वुड से दैट हमारी जो टीम है, वी दिस सैटरडे इज अवर प्रोग्राम ऑफ, थोड़ा आई विल गिव अ बैकग्राउंड। सैटरडे इज अवर प्रोग्राम ऑफ बैक टू रूट्स। ये प्रोग्राम, दिस प्रोग्राम वी स्टार्टेड अराउंड 2.5 years बिफोर। एंड इस प्रोग्राम के दौरान आई ट्राई टू यूज बोथ मिक्स लैंग्वेज। इस इन दिस प्रोग्राम व्हाट वी डू इज वी आर रीडिंग भवानी सहस्रनाम, where AK Razdan ji recites it the way we recite the Bhavani Sahasranam in Kashmiri, because we have a very special recitation. And also Sekhar ji, we are really honored to have Sekhar ji with us, Ramachandra Ketu Sekhar ji with us here. And he gives us the explanation of the Bhavani Sahasranam, each and every name of that, and the broad explanation from the Kashmir Shaiva point of view also. And I would say that even though the program is weekly every Saturday, but so far we have only completed, I would say, that 50 to 60% of those names. I think 600 names. Shekharji, we still have, I think, 1 year or 2 years more to go, but definitely that was our first thing which we want to start. And the very interesting part of that is that whole session is we directly start, we read the manuscript directly from the manuscript, which is the Sharda manuscript. The intention was we wanted to have the same feel, same expression how it would have been in Kashmir if we look at back, if we look Kashmir back around 1,000 years before. So before taking much time, this is the book, the Sri Panchastavi. Okay, Razdan ji, you want to show the Bhavani Sahasranam? Yes, yes. Razdan ji is showing that original manuscript which is there with Razdan ji, which we are reading every Saturday in our Back to Roots program. So this is the manuscript which we directly read without any translation, without any Devanagari. Directly the team is reading, and we also have Shekhar ji, who also gives us very detailed explanation. I think so much learning for us in terms of the Shakti tradition of Kashmir. So without
more
taking much, yes,
Trika perspective, detailed Trika perspective about each divine name.
yes,
He is giving us each divine name in Trika perspective.
yes.
Non-dual Kashmiri Shaivism के perspective से.
So on this book, Razdan ji, if you can give a background, अगर आप थोड़ा सा इसके बारे में बताएंगे, जो आज की बुक का जो विमोचन है पंचस्तवी, so then to all the listeners, then we can proceed our program. Yes, and also we will also have the recitation of few shlokas of Panchastavi. Razdan ji has a very beautiful. In fact, we had a team. I think Razdan will talk about that. How did we start this Panchastavi reading also? Yes, over to you, Mara.
Namaskar everyone. ये ऐसे स्टार्ट हुआ अब 4-5 साल पहले, 5 साल हो गए मेरे ख्याल में, more than 5 years back. I copied a verse from the Sharda manuscript directly and did its transliteration into Devanagari and posted it on my Facebook page. Rakesh ji also saw that post and he gave me a ring. He telephoned me and he said, most of us do not know how to do proper recitation of the Panchastavi. Is it possible that on our WhatsApp group, can we assemble together in the morning every day and recite one verse properly, with proper pronunciation and in Kashmiri meter, in the meter that we usually use for recitation in Kashmir? Can we do that? I said, I can certainly do that, but it will take a long time. It will take at least 8-9 months to complete. the whole 146 verses. We finally decided, and we started it. One verse a day. I would recite the verse and then make a recording of that, and then also write the verse in Devanagari and send it to on the WhatsApp page. Everybody would read it, practice it, and then next morning or that very evening they would send me their own recording. We would correct it, we would do refining, we would do corrections, and gradually we completed all the 46 words. Each word was recorded, each word was written, each word was sent to everybody, each verse. That took about 8-9 months, 10 months, and we completed that. After that, after a few months, then we started Bhavani Sahasranam with Sekhar ji. Sekhar ji is a doyen of on Kashmir Shaivism. He's an authority. For me, he's an authority on Kashmir Shaivism. So he began. I did the recitation from the original manuscript, and he would give explanation. He would give full exposition on the every single divine name of the divine mother. इतने एक घंटा हमारा लगता था. Every Saturday we would meet once in a week, every Saturday at about 7 in the evening, and he would explain to us from every point, from Advaita Vedanta perspective से भी, Trika Darshan के perspective से भी, grammar के perspective से भी, meaning के perspective से भी, Puranic perspective से भी, every perspective he would explain to us about that particular name, why it is so. तो ये पर्टिकुलर नाम का क्या महत्व है, ये क्यों है, इस सीक्वेंस में क्यों लगा हुआ है, इस शास्त्र नाम में इस जगह पर क्यों लगा है और कहीं क्यों नहीं लगा हुआ है. एवरीथिंग वुड बी एक्सप्लेन्ड. ये हमको कम से कम 1.5 साल हो गया, 2 साल हो गए. अभी भी हमने वी हैव कंप्लीटेड ओनली 60%, 70%. वी हैव सिट, हमको 2 साल से कर रहे हैं एक नाम. वो 1000 नाम्स अभी भी पूरे नहीं हुए. ये मुझे फिर ख्याल आया कि अगर हम पंचस्तवी हमने की थी, क्या can't we do exposition, Trika exposition on Kashmir, this Panchastavi? Can't we, इसमें तो अवेलेबल जो मार्केट में बहुत सारे इसके मीनिंग भी है, कमेंट्रीज भी है ऑन पंचस्तवी, मगर त्रिका पर्सपेक्टिव से कोई मैंने नहीं देखा. जानकीनाथ जी कोल कमल की बुक है, उसमें कुछ मेंशन है त्रिका पर्सपेक्टिव से, बट दैट्स आल्सो नॉट कंप्लीट. त्रिका के त्रिका दर्शन कश्मीर शैविश पर्सपेक्टिव से नहीं है वो भी. तो फिर मैंने I did start doing one or two verses daily. It took me about an year to complete it. I sent that whole document, whole draft to Rakesh ji. मैंने उनको बोला कि आप kindly study it and then talk to me. He took his time, about a week, and then he contacted me. उन्होंने कहा ये तो बहुत अच्छा है. मैंने कहा बहुत अच्छा है, मगर इससे पहले कि ये बहुत अच्छा पूरा बन जाए, आप एक शेखर जी को भेज दीजिए, उससे वेट करवाइए. लेट हिम रिव्यू दिस होल बुक, लेट हिम रिव्यू द होल डॉक्यूमेंट. शेखर जी वाज काइंड एनफ, उन्होंने इसको रिव्यू किया, कुछ करेक्शंस की, वो खुद ही उन्होंने करेक्शंस की, जहां पर भी स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक था या कहीं ग्रामेटिकल मिस्टेक थी, वो करेक्ट करके उसका लिस्ट भी हमारे पास भेजा कहाँ कहाँ करेक्शन की. देन ही वाज ग्रेशियस एनफ टू राइट ए वेरी ब्यूटीफुल फॉरवर्ड ऑन दिस डॉक्यूमेंट. जब हमने ये देखा फॉरवर्ड भी है, पूरा हो गया, वेट भी हो गया, रिव्यू भी हो गया, तो राकेश ने मुझे कहा ऐसा नहीं है कि हम इसको प्रिंट ही करें. मैंने कहा देखो ये तो डिसीजन आपका है, अगर आपकी मर्जी है तो कर लो. दैट इज हाउ द प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्टेड. तो ये टुक ऑलमोस्ट 1.5 year टू कंप्लीट. ये दिस इज द स्टोरी अबाउट दिस बुक इन शॉर्ट. तो इसलिए मैंने आज के संदर्भ में मैंने 2 त्रिका पर्सपेक्टिव से मैं क्यों कह रहा था, क्योंकि मैंने क्या किया, मैंने 2 वर्सेस सिलेक्ट किए हैं. आई विल डू, जैसे राकेश जी ने कहा, मैं हर एक कैंटो में से एक वर्स पढ़ूंगा, मगर 2 वर्सेस मैंने सिलेक्ट किए हैं इसमें से कि जिससे हमको समम बोनम और कि हमने त्रिका पर्सपेक्टिव क्यों इसमें किया है, कि उसको पूरा एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए मैंने 2 वर्सेस सिलेक्ट किए. वन वर्स 19 फ्रॉम कैंटो 1 चैप्टर 1 से, पहले ताओ में से वर्स 19 है. हाँ
ना कंटिन्यू मारा. I will. There are some mute.
आए पल्लवितये परस्परयुतिरे द्वित्रिक्रमाद्यक्षरे काद्यख्यात गतये स्वरादिभिरिथ ख्यातश्चितहि ससरे नामानि त्रिपुरे भवन्ति कुल्यान् अत्यन्त्यगोहानि ते तेभ्यो भैरविपत्निविंशतिसहस्रेभ्यः परेभ्यो नमः. This remarkable verse centers around the sacred letters of the Sanskrit alphabet. At first sight, it appears to be describing the glory of the letters of the mantra. But the Trika masters would ask us to look deeper. Letters are not merely sounds. They are the first strings of consciousness expressing itself. Every word begins with a letter. Every thought finds expression through the words, and every branch of knowledge depends upon language. Thus, Divine Mother is praised as the source from whom all letters, all speech, all knowledge, and ultimately the entire universe emerges. Modern science tells us that the universe is permeated by energy. Trika goes one step further and declares that the universe is permeated by living consciousness. What appears outwardly as matter is in its deepest essence the vibration of consciousness. Therefore, the alphabet celebrated in this verse is not simply linguistic invention. It symbolizes the creative power of the Divine Mother, manifesting herself as the universe. This insight reveals one of the unique features of the Trika philosophy. It does not regard the word as something separate from the divine, nor does it ask us to reject the world. Rather, it teaches us to recognize the divine shining through every aspect of existence. The universe is the self-expression of the Divine Mother, just as the light is the natural radiance of the sun. As our study progresses through the Panchastavi, the vision expands still further. The goddess is no longer praised merely as the source of speech and knowledge, but as the very essence of all knowledge itself. This is beautifully expressed in the 21st verse of the 5th canto. Vide vidye vede vivid samye vede janini vichitre vishwaye vinay sulbe vede gulke Shiva Geshilaste Shiv Padavadanye Shiv Nide Shive Matar Mahyam Toye Vitare Bhaktim Nirupama. In this verse, the Panchastavikar addresses the Divine Mother through a series of evocative names. She is Vidya, knowledge itself. She is Vedya, that which is to be known. She is Vedajanni, the mother of Vedas. She is also present in many systems of thought through which humanity has sought truth. The message is profound. Every genuine quest for truth derives its light from the one divine consciousness. This is why the Trika tradition offers one of the most beautiful insights into spiritual life, insights beautiful insight. Spiritual life is not about acquiring something that we do not possess. It is about recognizing what has always been present. The light by which we think, we understand, love, worship, and seek. It itself the presence of the Divine Mother within us. The sages of Kashmir give us give this recognition a beautiful name, Etibikyam, recognition. It is meeting of the lifelong. It is like meeting a lifelong friend. Many years after many years, nothing new has been created. Nothing. One simply recognize what was always there. In the same way, the purpose of worship is to bring the divine near. Is not to bring divine near to us, but to awaken us to the divine presence that has never been absent.
Very nice, Mother.
What are the, do you want the verses to be recited?
Yeah, one or two recites. एक दो और करो, then we can have Shekhar ji to talk about this.
Okay, okay, sir. This is the 7th verse from the first canto. वामे पुस्तक दारिणीम वैदाम साक्षस्रजम दक्षिणे भक्तेभ्यो वरदान ते शलकराम कर्पूर कुंदोज्ज्वलाम उज्जृम्बाम्बुजपत्रकात्नयन स्निग्धप्रभालोकिनीं ये त्वामम्बनशीलयन्ति मनसा तेषां कवे त्वं कुतः. This is second verse from second canto. सौंदर्य विभ्रम भुवो भुवनाधिपत्ये संपत्ति कल्पतरुवस्तु पुरे जयन्ति एते कवेत्व कुमुद प्रकरावबोध पूर्णेन्दुवस्त्वयि जगज्जननी प्रणामः. पूर्णेन्दुवस्त्वयि जगज्जननी प्रणामः. बेमच राकेश जी को पसंद है ये श्लोक, ये मैं पढ़ूंगा.
Yes. आप उसका मतलब भी बाद में बता दीजिए फॉर एवरीबॉडी.
इसका मतलब जो किताब आपके पास है उसमें से आप पढ़ लीजिए, मैं बता दूंगा आप इसका मतलब क्या है. मगर इसमें जो त्रिका एक्सपोजिशन मैंने दी है वो जरूरी पढ़ना आप.
ठीक है,
कैसे मैंने एक्सप्लेन
जरूर.
चरमांबरम जशवभस्म विलेपनम च भिक्षाटनम च नटनम चिपरेत भूमौ वैताल सम्मति परे गृहीतातिशं.
Bro, my name is Mehbooba, okay?
शोभां बिभर्ति गिरिजे तव सहचरे शोभां बिभर्ति गिरिजे तव सहचरे
मरा इसका साधारण मीनिंग ही बता दीजिए, बिल्कुल साधारण मीनिंग।
चरम अंबरम, clothed in animal hide. Your husband, भगवत जी को बताता आपका जो रहता है हस्बैंड है, he is clothed in animal skin. चरमांबरम च शवभस्म विलेपनम च, and he is besmeared with ashes from the crematorium ground. शवों का भस्म लगा के मला हुआ बॉडी में. भिक्षाटनम च नटनम, with a begging bowl in his hand and dancing in the cremation ground. His friends are Bhutpreet and Vaital. Vaital means one who tends a dead body on the pyre. It means Kavujvananchis. Vaital. Vaital is Samit Pare. ये तुम्हारे साथी है और ये जो इसके साथी हैं वही तुम्हारा ग्रहता है भगवान शंकर. शोभाम बिभर्ति गिरिजे, उनकी अगर कोई भी शोभा है भगवान शंकर की, वो इसीलिए है कि ग्रहता चुंबु, वो तुम्हारा ग्रहता, वो तुम्हारे साथ उनका पानी ग्रहणवाद, वो तुम्हारा हस्बैंड है. वो उनकी वही एक खूबी है कि वो तुम्हारा हस्बैंड है. बाकी उसके कार्यकर्ता तो नजर ही आए कि हमने बता ही दिया क्या है. पर इसका डीपर एसेंस जो है, मैंने इसमें डीपर एसेंस जो ए स्कॉलर वुड interpreted that very way. वो शेखर जी, इस पर मैं particularly I would ask शेखर जी to kindly give a full explanation of this verse from Trika perspective. Thank you very much.
Thank you राजदान जी, thank you so much.
Thank you. एक small
Thank
question जी, ये आपका लिखा हुआ बुक है या आप?
ट्रांसलेशन बाय AK राजदान जी. यस.
तो आपने ही ये बुक लिखा है?
हाँ जी.
ओह, बहुत मस्त गुरु जी, शुक्रिया.
शेखर जी, धन्यवाद. We have with us now Ramachandra Sekhar Ketuji. So Sekhar ji is associated with our team, I would say, more than 5-6 years now. And Sekhar ji, if you can give us, I think, about the Panchastavi, I think you will be the best person to talk about little background about this Panchastavi and also its importance, the recitation, and then some shlokas and if you can also give some explanation of some shlokas.
विशुद्धिज्ञानदेहाय त्रिवेदी दिव्यचक्षुषे श्रेयः प्राप्ति निमित्ताय नमः सोमार्धधारिणे नमो यामिनीनाथ रेखालंकृतकुन्तलां भवानीं भवसन्ताप निर्वापण सुधानदी. नमस्ते. And Razdan ji and Rakesh ji, thank you for all the kind words. I don't think I deserve all that.
Correct. You don't deserve that.
You deserve it, sir. You deserve it.
But it is a privilege.
ये आपके मैग्नानिमिटी है, ग्रेस है, that you are humility है, दिखा रहे हैं. but really हम आपको समझते हैं सबसे बड़ा मतलब ज्ञानवान इस हमारे ग्रुप में. God bless you, sir. God bless you.
Thank you.
I really have great respect for you.
So just Panchastavi, it's not only it's very, very rare that you find some stotras which cuts across the entire Bharatvarsha in popularity, and Panchastavi is definitely one. Very, very close. We all know the Panchastavi consists of Lagustava, Charchastava, Ghatastava, Ambastava, and Sakalajanistava. These are the 5 components of the Panchastavi. So this is what makes it as Panchastavi. And there is one very old commentary on the Lagustavi portion alone, authored by Raghav Bhatta, which was first published from Trivandrum Sanskrit series And in that, the author is identified or named as Laghu Bhattaraka. And because the authorship of Panchastavi is still a very, very doubtful one. There are people who there is another named Dharmacharya. All these are very common terms. No, I don't think there are any particular names by which some people even attribute it to Kalidasa. Now, what is particularly fascinating is this attribution of Lagustavi to Laghu Bhattaraka. And unearthing that manuscript in Kerala. Now, I think we are all very, very fortunate enough that there is a lot of um, awareness that there was a very deep connection of Kashmir Shaivism to the southern parts of India at a practice level. And we all know the 13 Bhagavati temples in Kerala, which actually is the representation of the 13 Kalis, Dwadasha Kali plus the Kala Sankarshini. Even now, when we go and they all are not the regular Nambudiri Brahmins who worship in the other Kerala temples. They are called as a Shakteya Brahmanas. And there, even now, the Moola Mantra in all the 13 Devi temples is the Bijakshara of Kala Sankarshan. And there is a tradition in these temples where you will have a main priest and an assisting priest. The assisting priest in Malayalam is called as Ilaya Pidaran. It's called as Ilaya Pidaran. If you translate it into Sanskrit, it means Laghu Bhattaraka.
Interesting.
Yes. And
Lago means the smaller one.
yeah, the younger one or the
Younger
junior
one or smaller one, yeah.
the junior one.
So what does basta mean there?
What?
That Lagu basta, right?
Bhattaraka.
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 So it is very interesting connection. There are many more connections of South and Kashmir, but I think given the time here, what we will try to understand is why the selection of five, because the number five is very, very special, both in the Shaiva Marga as well as in the Tantra Marga, because this Grantha is a kind of a essence of the Tantra as practiced in the purest traditions of the Trika. That much is very, very sure. So it will have in it all the components of the Tantra Shastra also. And the Lagustavi stands as the best example. I will try to show a few shlokas where this comes out very, very beautifully. But the number 5 is very important because we all know that the entire agamas that were brought down upon the earth by Sadashiva, they were brought down through one of those 5 phases, the Ishana Tatpurusha Ghora, Vamadeva, and the Sadyojat. Either of these 5 phases, the agamas were brought forth. And also, we know how important it is to establish the unity between or the identity between the Jiva or the Pashu as well as or the Anu as well as Shiva is through one common feature, which is the Panchakrityas.
Panchatantra.
It is through the Panchakrityas and Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirodhana, Anugraha. These 5 within the Krama school, we know it as it is called as Abhasana, Rakti. Okay.
Sekhar ji, your video.
Abhasana, Rakti, Vimarshana, Bija, and Avasthapana. These are the 5 names. And anyone familiar with the Pratibhignya Hridaya, they will be aware of these 5 terminologies. These are the names by which the Panchakrityas are referred. And these five are also very, very important as process through which the mantra becomes Siddha. And it is taught in the Guru Parampara how the mantra becomes Siddha through these fivefold process. Now it's a process called as Japa Vidhi. In the Japa Vidhi, this is taught. And what does it do? It removes five kinds, or we may say, or there is fivefold obstructions which is removed. And this fivefold obstruction is called as Tamas, Moha, Mahamoha, Tamisra, and Andhatamisra. These are the five which are removed by the grace or the anugraha. So to denote all this and to bring out the importance of this five within this particular system, this collection might have been called as Panchastavi. They are all speculation. I am not, we cannot say for sure. But one thing is very, very, that this entire stava, the author has made it a point that he is giving a lot of mantrodharas in many, many places, especially in the Laghustavi portion, because he himself makes it very clear in the 20th shloka when he says mantrodhara vidhi visesha sahitaha. So mantrodhara vidhi visesha sahitaha, with the proper mantrodhara vidhi. Now, how to encode the mantra? Now, why should mantrodhara be done? Anyone coming from a proper sampradaya, they will be aware that mantras are never directly narrated or spoken fully in front of public. They are always given in a coded language. And there is also the process of decoding the mantra, which you can get only when you have understood the process. That is why after saying this, in the Laghustavi, that is in the same 20th shloka, he says, Sat Sampradayanvitaha. You will know the process of decoding only if you have learnt it in a proper sampradaya. If you have not received this instruction, this training, this diksha, etc., in a proper sampradaya, you will not know how to decode the mantra. So this entire stava, when we say, it is it is a mantra shastra itself, especially the Laghustavi. My Shri Guru, when he taught me this particular stava, this entire Laghustava, he took, I remember, almost 4 to 5 months just to teach this Laghustava. There is one shloka, I am not going into detail owing to this thing, wherein at an outset it only looks like Maya Kundalini Kriya Madhumati Kali Kalamalini Matangi Vijaya Jaya Bhagavati Devi Shiva Shambhavi Shakti Shankara Vallabha Trinayana Bhagwadini Vahi Hringara Paraparami Mata Kumari Ityasau or Ityasi. Now this at an outset looks like a list of the Nama. Okay, but when we go into other tantras like Paramananda Tantra, Jnanarnava Tantra, you will find that there are multiple types of parayanas that are done using the Bija Mantra, which is the Panchadashakshari Mantra, because this is entirely about the Panchadashi or the Shri Vidya tradition. Very first shloka makes it very, very clear, and the subsequent shlokas are also very clear about it. So that is why in the next verse in Ai Pallavitaihi. So the process of Pallava means there is a process called Samputa. Samputa means before and after, when you add syllables or verses or mantras.
What is Samputa?
It is called as Samputikarana.
What is Samputa?
If you would ask these questions towards the end
Yeah,
of
we
the,
will take the questions
I
at the end,
will
please. Yeah.
happily answer these questions.
What? Oh, okay. Samputa.
Yeah. We'll take all the questions at the end. Please don't enter in between. Yes.
And so Pallava means one, just like the sprouts or the fresh leaves, one leading to the other. Pallavanam is the process, okay, where you find this particular mantra attached to either in the beginning or in the end of whatever is that portion. So the previous, that is Maya Kundalini Kriya Madhumati, has to be read as those letters which will be used along with the Mula Mantra, which is the Panchadashakshari Vidya, and with A-I, then the Dinanitya Vidya, then you do a Parayana. There are multiple Parayanas like Mantra Parayana, okay, Nama Parayana. All these Parayanas use these, so it takes almost anywhere between 360 days to 600 days, 572 days to complete these Parayanas. So he is giving you a mnemonics to remember how to do this Pallavanam for doing the Parayana.
Right.
So the point is that the entire Panchastavi has to be treated like, not like, it is the Mantra Shastra. Essence of the Mantra Shastra is given. For that, let us go to the very first shloka. I am always in awe when we see these verses.
Yeah.
I will request Razdanji to recite the first verse. I will explain those.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Razdan ji Mara. Sekhar ji, you can keep your camera. Yes. Pehla.
जी sir.
Om Namaste Sundari Indrase Vishara
Om.
Siddhati Madhye Lalatam Prabham Shauklim Kanti Manoshnisho Gori Vishara Syamati Sarivata Esha Sautrupura Hridhi Jyotirivo Shnam Shausada Sthita Chidnyatna Sahasa Padastrivirgam Jyotirmayi Vangmayi.
So in this very first shloka, he makes it very clear his intention, what he is going to do here. He is presenting the Devi in both her Swarupas, her Prakasha Swarupa as well as her Vimarsha Swarupa. Jyotirmayi, Vangmayi. And coming to the mantra aspect, there are three key words here. Aindrasya, Shauklim, Eshasau.
Exactly.
Aindrasya, Shauklim and Eshasau.
Three beach mantra.
These three, in a very kuta form, no, in a very subtle this thing, they are hinting towards the three bija aksharas, which forms the prakriti of the entire of the Panchadashakshari Vidya. This is called as the Bala Tripura Sundari, because the Bala Tripura Sundari is mantra is considered to be the prakriti from where all the other mantras are derived, including the 15-lettered mantra of Mahatripura Sundari. So, Aindrasya, it hints towards Aim, which is the first, which is the Vagbhava Bija, and there are subsequent verses which speaks about it. Then we have Shauklim. It is hinting towards the Kamaraja Bija Akshara, which is Kala followed by Im. Then we are having Esha Sau. So
Sau.
it is Sau, but Visarga is not there because that is considered to be the Hridaya, of the entire of Devi. Okay, so if you put the Visarga, the mantra becomes open. So without the Visarga, the mantra is hinted there. So, but these three forms the prakriti or the prototype from where you will get all the other. Now, from this, you see the mantra itself is having all hints to derive various other the mantras are connected with the Tripura Sundari worship. So, Tripura Sundari we know is her predominant yantra is Sri Chakra. The entire Hari Parvat is considered to be the form of Sri Chakra.
Exactly. That is.
So this Sri Chakra has 9 enclosures which are called as Avaranas. In each of the Avaranas have multiple Devatas. And for each Avarana there is a Chakreshwari. There is one Devata who is considered to be the Ishwari, that is the in charge of the chakra, though these English terms are not really apt in this particular context. I'm just using it for sake of convenience. So these Chakreshwari Vidyas are also derived. For example, when you have in the verse Sadahasthita, Sada
Asthita.
Ha Sthita. That is, with these, when you add Ha, Aim, then Kleem, then followed by Sau and Visarga. So you will, when you have this is called as Tripuravasini Chakreshwari's mantra. Then he says Sahasa. From the word Sahasa, okay, that is Sahasa along with Ha and Sa.
Sa.
So when you add Ha and Sa with this, that is Ha Sa Aim, Ha Sa Kleem,
Clean.
Ha Sa
Clean.
Oh, that is the Parabija. This is called as Tripurashri mantra. Then Sahasa Sadahasthita. Okay, when you take that section, Sahasa Sadahasthita. Daha in Sanskrit means fire or heat. So heat means we have to take the Agni's Bija. We all know the Agni's Bija is Ra. So when you add Ra to Ha and Sa, so Ha Sa Ra Aim, Has Raim, Ha Sa Ra Clean. Okay, then Ha Sa Ra and Sauhu. You get this thing of Tripuramba Chakreshwari's mantra. Then again says Sarvataha Sadaha Sahasa Sthita Shauklim. When all these components are taken, then we get the Tripura Siddhas mantra. Haskleim, Haskleim, and followed by Hassau, Hasksau. Then we have Tripurambika mantra. There are so many mantras that you can derive only from the very first shloka. But
okay.
Having done all that, the beauty of this is, whether it is Shiva Sutra, whether it is Pratyabhijna Kadaya, time and again, what is being emphasized is, especially in the Shiva Sutra Vyakhyana, is what is the mantra virya? When the mantra virya, that is that which is the life principle, the invigorating principle of any mantra, very clearly it is explained that it is aham. It is through this para ahanta or purna ahanta. It is only to realize this purna ahanta swarupa that all this mantra shastra and mantra vidhana is given in the Tantragama. So this first verse itself, he says the Tattvartha is Sada Ahasthita. That which is ever present as A and Ha. We have to understand Ahaha to stand for Aham. So it is this Aham, not the smaller I, but the Purna Ahanta Swarupa.
Purna Ahanta.
From where? So what we are doing is the poet's genius. It cannot simply be a human creation. It has to be either by the grace of Devi or the grace of the Guru Mandala that he is able to bring an entire Devi Bimba in language. And he has created it in such a beautiful manner that you can enjoy it merely as poetry also. Even without any of this understanding of the Mantra Shastra, you can still enjoy. And he uses the word Tripura in the first verse. And he explains that Tripura is significant because in our experience, she appears as Tripura. Why? Because all our experiences happens in triads. There is a knower, knowing, known. Right? Without this, the process of cognition cannot take place. Process of cognition requires this triad.
Certainly.
Similarly, there is Ichha, Jnana and Kriya, which is the another second set of triad. Without this also, the process of cognition and process of action does not take place. Like this, there are multiple sets of triads by which we can realize Devi in our day-to-day life. In every cognition we can realize, and in every aspect of life we can realize. And this he brings forth in the 16th shloka.
Yeah, I was about to tell you that. Yes.
In the 16th shloka, he makes the list of all that.
Three. Yes.
Not an exhaustive list, that also he says. It's not an exhaustive list.
Yes.
Where all she comes as triads.
Triads, absolutely.
So Devanam Tritayam.
Devanam Tritayam.
Yes. Rakesh, please recite.
Okay, I will recite. Devanam Tritayam Trayi Hutbujam Shakti Trayam Triswara Trailokyam Tripadi Tripushkarmatho Tribrahma Varnastraya Yatkinchi Jagati Tridanyamitam Vastu Tivargatmakam Tatsarvam Tripureti Nam Bhagavat Anve तत्वता ठीक पर हमारा राजदान साहब
ठीक
थैंक यू यस शेखर जी
So you see that in the shloka what he has said is Devanam Tritayam, the three devas,
yes
Trayi Hutabhujam, the three Agnis, okay, Shakti Trayam, the three, that is Ichha Jnana Kriya, the three Shaktis, then Trailokyam, Tripadi, Tripushkaram, all, anything, final, he says, Yatkinchit Jagati Tridhaniyamitam. Whatever in this world which is conditioned in the triad. Because of that, Tava Nama Anvitam. Your Nama, your name as Tripura becomes Anvita. Anvita in the sense, it is true to the name that you appear as Tripura. Okay. So, very, these are some of the very beautiful aspects of Panchastavi. Then again in the fourth shloka of Lagustavi itself, Yannitye tava tamarajamaparam. Can we have that recital also?
Kamaraj mantra.
राजदान साहब तो पर हमारा
Kalma, एक बार.
चूरिम
ठीक मार. यत् नित्ये तव कामराजमपरं मन्त्राक्षरं निष्कलं तत्सारतमेति वैति विरल कच्चत्बुधे चेद्भुवि आख्यानं प्रतिपर्वसत्य तपसो
Yes.
यत्कीर्तयन्तो दिजा प्रारम्भे प्रणवास्पद प्रणीयताम् नीतौ चरन्ते सपुटम्.
So this shloka is actually speaking about the second bija akshara called the Kamaraja bija. So we saw in the Bala mantra, the second is Kala followed by Im. So there is a Puranic story which the poet is alluding to. So there used to be a Dvija or a Brahmana by name I think Devadatta. He was an he was residing in Kosala region. He had a son. His son's name was he got four sons after performing Putra Kameshti, and because of some lapse in the yajna, one son was born as complete um, uh, devoid of any capacity to learn. His name was Uthatya. And once after he was, I think, 14 or 15, he got really scolded at house for being such dumb, while all his other brothers were extremely intelligent. So he leaves the house and he comes and he stays on the outskirts of a forest. He takes a pledge that I will not speak a lie. I may not have much learning or anything, but I will take a vrata that I will not speak a lie. And he adhered to it for many years. So that is why he gets the name Satya Vrata or Satya Tapas. So here it says Satya Tapasaha. The word in the thing is referring to his story. Okay. So once while he is seated, there is a wild boar which is being chased by a hunter. So a hunter is trying to chase a wild boar, and it just passes near where Satya Tapas is seated. And the hunter, he comes and he asks, did you see a boar? Because my family is waiting. I have to go and feed my family. So he is in a dilemma. No, we call it as Dharma Sankata. He is in a dilemma. He cannot lie. But if he speaks the truth, the life of a boar will be lost because of him. The sound which the boar makes while passing, that is, the oink sound. Okay, so he just repeats that I, the verse or the Srimad Devi Bhagavata is where we get this particular story. So we hear that this thing that he says the I, okay, the letter I, he repeats that, and because of that, even though it is not complete Bijakshara because the Bindu is not added, still he is blessed by the grace of the Devi. So this particular Pauranika story is alluded here. That is one. But most importantly, if you when we see here, there is this says Mantraksharam Nishkalam. So if you remove from the Bija Akshara, which is the Kamaraja Bija, which is Kala and Im, if you remove Nishkalam, so this Nishkala is something which is unconditioned, no, without having any parts. That is one meaning. But if you just take it without Ka and La, so if you remove Ka and La from the Kamaraja Bija, what we are having is Im. Now, Im is a very, very important from the Mantra Shastra point of view because it is called as the Kama Kala Bija. It is that which denotes the Adya Srishti. Now, the first form of Srishti. Okay, the Adya Spanda, as the Trika Shastra we say. The primordial desire because of the Swatantra Shakti to become many. From where the Shiva Shakti Samarasya takes place and the Prakasha Vimarshana takes place.
Shekhar ji, are you not able to unmute?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So this particular shloka is referring to the Kamakala Bija, the Eam, okay, which is referring to that Adya Spandana, okay, by which the entire creation or the creative matrix is explained. And in Arunopanishad, we have the reference to it when it says Yadi Eam Shrunoti Alakagam Shrunoti Yad Eam Shrunoti Alakam Shrunoti without La and Ka. Okay, from the Kamaraja Bija. And it is this E as the Kamakala, which we all know in the most famous 19th shloka of the Saundarya Lahari of Adi Shankaracharya, when he says Mukham Bindum Krutva Kuchayugam Adhastasya Tadato Harardham Dhyayetyo Haramahiste Manmatha Kalam. You cannot represent this this Kamakala Bija in Devanagari and get the form as Adi Shankara describes it. Until unless you write in Sharda, Sharda as a script, you will not be able to represent this Ekakshara Kamakala Bija as described in the Saundarya Lahari's 19th shloka. Because it says Mukham Bindum Krutva. How do you write Eam? Mukham Bindum Krutva. There is one that, like, if you imagine Devi seated, the face is one Bindu. Mukham Bindum Krutva. Then he says, Kuchayugam Adhastasya Dado. So there are two more Bindus, okay, which represents the chest region. Okay. Then Harardham Dhyayedyo Haramahishite Manmathakala. Then Harardha. Harardha is triangle. We all know that if you write and Devanagari, Eam, you will not get this form. Only when we write it in the Sharda script, you will get this form. So this Eam or this Kamakala Bija is considered as the representation of Paravak in the Mantra Shastra. So that is also hinted in this particular stotra. So when we go further, for example, in the 6th shloka, he says, Yad ekekam tava bijam anagam. So he gives actually the importance of each of these three bijas in the very first 5 shlokas. And he says, ekekam tava devi bijam anagam. The next line is, the next word is important. Savyanjanam, avyanjanam. Normally, we translate with consonants, without consonants. Okay. So when you do it with consonants, you have already got the Bala Tripura Sundari mantra. When you do it without consonants, it is called as Shuddha Vidya. And the Shuddha Vidya belongs to the Urdhvamanaya, in the Mantra Shastra, which is the place, okay, which is beyond the 4 Amnayas. So that is also hinted when he says Savyanjanam, Avyanjanam. So this entire thing, then we have this beautiful verses in Charchastava. In the Charchastava, you are having, so it will, from the moment we cross the Lagustavi, the Mantra Garbha, okay, aspect actually slowly gives rise to more lyrical aspects of Devi. Though Tattvartha aspect remains, but the mantra aspect becomes slightly, or rather, you don't find much of mantra garbha aspects within the next 4 segments. But very beautiful verses. For example, you in the second shloka, I think, of Charchastava, there is a comparison of Devi, or there is we performing our namaskaras to Devi. It says, Purnendavaha Twayi Jagat Janani Pranama. And the first 3 lines, he says, just like the night, okay, or in the night, the moon causes the blossoming of the lilies. Similarly, the pranamas, that is the namaskaras which are offered to you, acts like that moon, and what it generates is Kavitva Kumuda. It blossoms the Kavitva Kumuda. Okay, the flower of poetry. So the poetry flows like a flourish from the mouth of person who is who bows down to Janani or to Devi. Then
Sounds
in
very
Panchastava we have the most famous Namo Yamini Natha Rekha Alankrita Kuntala, where she is called as Bhava Santapa Nirvapana Sudha Nadi. She is that Nadi, she is that river who removes the Bhava Santapa. Normally, all the rivers may remove the heat, especially during the summers. So, if one has to escape the heat, he may go and have a dip in the river and it will remove the heat. But Bhavani is different because she is a Nadi which removes Bhava Santapa, removes the Santapa or the pain caused due to Bhava, due to the samsara. And she is Sudha Nadi. She is the river of nectar. And finally, we have in the Ambastava another very so like I said in the other stavas also the Tattvartha is very beautifully built in. For example, we have this Vyometi Binduriti. Yeah, Vyometi Binduriti Nada iti Nada iti Indulekha Rupeti Vagbhava Tanuriti Matriketi. We have this thing. Now, this is speaking about the subtle forms of nada which exist above the Agnya Chakra all the way up to Sahasrara. There are Nava nadas in the practice, which even we have description. So these nadas are referred here, and when we look into it, we have other Upanishads called Nada Bindu Upanishad and others, where this is very which is explained in a very detailed manner when it says that Nado Brahma Swarupa Ghosha Visheshaha. And each of these, what is Nada, what is Bindu, what is Kala, everything is described in detail. So all that is also described here. And finally, in Sakala Janani Stava, where she is praised as the mother of the entire creation. So Sakala Janani Stava, he says that Bhruvantyeke Tattvam Bhagavati Sadanye Vidus Tatpare Mataha Prahuhu Tava Sadasadanye Sukavayaha Pare Naitat Sarvam Samapi Datate Devi Sudhiyaha Tadetat Tvan Maya Vilasitam Asesham Nanu Shive. This is this syncretic view which is very, very peculiar to the Trika Shastra. Because you will not come across any other darshana where all the other darshanas are also accepted to be partially true. You will find all the darshanakaras trying to negate the other darshanakaras and establish their own philosophy. But
one verse I will recite and explain that, sir.
yes.
Yat Shat Patram Kamalamuditam Tasya Karnika Kya Yonistasya Prathitamudare Yattatomkar Pitam Tasminantaha Kuchibarantam Kundalita Pravartam Shama Karam सकल जननीं संततं भावयामि.
Beautiful. So in this particular stotra, he says, is the poet is trying to understand various speculations about who Devi is or what is the nature of the Devi. So he says, Bhruvantyeke Tattvam Bhagavati. Sat. Some say that you are being. There are other schools of thoughts which call it as Asat, that you are non-being. Then some who say Sat Asat, you are both being as well as non-being. And he says all of this, okay, all of these discussions, that is a play of your Maya. And one of the most beautiful verse that I always, it's part of my daily recital, with that I will close, is just all of these speculations may be there. It helps us understand, it helps us try to analyze the reality from multiple perspectives. But all of this, until unless it is surrendered at the holy feet of Devi, who is appearing in front of us in the Pratyaksha Rupa, in the form of Guru, okay, none of this will make any sense. So the poet says, Vidyam param kadichit amba, ambaram amba kechit, anandameva katichit, katichit chamayam, Tvam Vishwamahurapare Vayam Anamama Sakshat Apara Karunam Gurumurti Meva. So you may be called as anything, but for me, the poet says, Sakshat Apara Karunam Gurumurti Meva. You are that Guru who is Apara Karuna. There is absolutely no reason why Guru has to shower his grace upon you, yet he showers the grace. So with that, I really thank Rakesh ji and Razdan ji for this opportunity, and really wish that everyone benefit from the wisdom that Razdan ji has captured for all of us in this particular book.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you so much, Shekhar ji. I think this was really beautiful explanation. In fact, when you were talking about the Lagos Tattva and how the mantras are composed, I was also doing a analogy of the Maheshwar Sutra here. Yes, but wonderful. I think, yes, there were few, I think in between we had some, I do not know how it happened. But my request to, I think before we conclude, we can have 3 to 4 questions. If somebody has questions, they can raise the hand, or they can also post the question in the chat box. We'll take 5 to 10 minutes, only 5 to 10 minutes for questions, then we close the session. And I have also put the link. If you are interested in the book, you can basically fill up the form. We will make arrangements to ship those books to you.
Somebody was raising hand in between.
Mukundji. Can you put a question on the chat? Yes, okay. I think his question is, Neha ji, my question is, can anyone chat Lalita Sahasranam and Vishnu Sahasranam both? Is there any rule to mainly recite? What exactly, maybe I could not understand it. I will unmute you, Neha ji, then you can ask your question. Maybe I was not able to get you. You can just unmute and say it.
You might be asking.
नमस्ते सर.
हाँ, नमस्ते.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि क्या मैं विष्णु सहस्त्रनाम और ललिता सहस्त्रनाम दोनों चैंट कर सकती हूँ सेम डे, या कुछ रूल्स है, लाइक इफ एनीबॉडी इज चैंटिंग विष्णु सहस्त्रनाम ही और शी कैन नॉट चैंट ललिता सहस्त्रनाम, या और वाइस वर्सा? जस्ट एक क्वेश्चन ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी है.
Sure, okay. Shekhar ji, yes. Sorry, 1 minute, Shekhar ji, you are on mute. I'll have. Yes.
So Neha ji, namaste. So for Vishnu Sahasranama, there is chanting of Vishnu Sahasranama. There is no restrictions. You can chant the Vishnu Sahasranama. For Lalita Sahasranama, within Lalita Sahasranama itself, the conditions are inbuilt. So it is not me or anyone else giving these conditions. It is built within the Lalita Sahasranama. If you go to the Purva Bhaga, normally we only do the Sahasranama part. But Sahasranama is always has a Purva Bhaga and the Phalashruti, which is the Uttar Bhaga. If you go to the Purva Bhaga, it is very, very clear that anyone who has got the Srimad Panchadashakshari Vidya Upadesha alone can chant the Lalita Sahasranama.
Okay, Shekhar ji, there is one question from Bhuvaneshwari ji. I think this is a good question. Can we chant Panchastavi without initiation?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
In Kashmir, illiterate women who did not know even Devanagari alphabet, they remember all 146 verses completely and with perfect pronunciation and proper grammar. They would recite it 146 verses without knowing any alphabet of Devanagari.
Yes. Any more questions? Maybe you can put it on the chat, 1 or 2 minutes, then we'll close the session. Muchkunji, you can put your question on the chat. How to begin sadhana? I think that is a bigger question.
So we have to wait for the Guru to start sadhana.
Okay, Shekhar ji, I think
Can hope and pray till that time.
I don't see there are further questions. Yeah, 1 minute. I think there is a question. Yes, Moto, somebody has a question. Yes, you can just put it in a chat, sir. Okay, I think there are no further questions. With this, we'll conclude the session. Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaskar ji.
Namaskar.